All right, today's a fun day. It's Monday. I got to count my money from the weekend. Wasn't that good of a weekend. But hell, when you live like me, every day is Saturday. Just call me. That's my new name for you guys. Every day is Saturday. So one of the things that really struck me over the weekend was this interest on excessive reserves. We're going to talk big picture here. The Fed has a problem. They have liquidity that they need to help fund banks so they can keep the money sloshing back and forth and amongst themselves. And the Fed being the biggest bank that the other banks need to get money from, they have what used to be called a discount window. Not that it's not there anymore, but the discount window had to be recreated because it was a major light shining on the problems that created the 2007-2008 financial crisis. And so, with that being said, I'll say it now before the end, and I'll say it again in the end. If you start hearing about the discount window being people going to it again, watch out. That's what caused Lehman to go down. So anyways, the interest on excessive reserves, IORE rate. Well, if we look at an article that J.P. Morgan wrote and other people prior to them, that interest on excessive reserves has been bypassed by, I think it's a federal funds rate, an FF rate. Bottom line, it's a bunch of David Petersons fucking manipulating the shit so that they can make you believe that there's something viable there. And what J.P. Morgan did is they pulled a Batman, or what's that fucking Blake? Crypto Blake. They pulled a fucking Crypto Blake. The J.P. Morgan pulled a Crypto Blake on David Peterson and ARB or the Fed. Essentially, this is what's happening, right? The difference here is this is the end-all be-all of all measurements. So there's no, fucking with David Peterson is one thing, but fucking with Powell, it's a whole nother world, right? So my point here is that ultimately, this idea that the Fed is going to continue to raise rates and rethink about raising rates in September, bullshit. Bullshit. They're not raising rates anymore. And they're going to be forced, probably within weeks, and I'm probably wrong in making that guesstimation, within days, that would be my guesstimation, but they're going to be forced to lower rates again and start quantitative easing instead of this bullshit quantitative tightening that they're fucking pretending they're doing. So in other words, it's just there's not enough. There was $1.5 to $2 trillion in liquidity, and now that we're below 1.5. There isn't enough money sloshing around in the system to keep the banks operating. And in order to do that, the banks are going elsewhere and creating, how a market will work. It's going wherever it's best for that particular market. So the Fed fund rate is, not the Fed, the IOER rate, the interest on excessive reserves rate, is come into question due to the fact that there's not enough liquidity sloshing around in this fucking bullshit generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme that we live in. We live in the ultimate generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme when it comes to this thing that we call a dollar. It's coming to another pinnacle of a problem, no different than the mortgage-backed securities of 10 years ago, or the dot-com problem, or the housing problem that you want to talk about before then. We're heading into another problem where these people that print up free money are going to be called to account because they can't keep doing what they're doing without coming up with some sort of crazy excessive means to keep the poor poorer and the rich richer. And it's the only way they keep their power. And it's even more exacerbated by look at other assets right now. The assets they want you to fucking rush into. The real estate industry is totally manipulated when it comes to the numbers, and then the S&P is up all-time high, right? But if we look at things that we've considered real assets in the past, or not even in the past, just the rest of us that want something that's stable, us in crypto, or other people that I'm considered a silver bug because of how I ended up in crypto was based on what I understood money to be in collateralized money, silver and gold. Those things are being so suppressed, it's not even funny. Not even funny. On top of that, guess who died this weekend? Bart Chilton from the CFTC. one of the few people that worked in the government at a high level that was kind of championing the idea of bringing transparency to the precious metals market. He died of a sudden illness at 58 years old. Shit's going to happen quick here, guys. Before the 2020 halvening, you know, and with CNBC saying that the number 2 thing they're going to invest in after Disney is crypto, dude, they're going to be rushing into, the big, huge money players are going to be rushing somewhere in order to try to preserve their wealth. And crypto is one of those places, dude. Crypto's a scam. We're all scammers, and we're waiting for some motherfucker to fucking fuck up so that we can sell the bags that we're holding for more than we bought them for. It's a fucking scam. And I'm looking at Bankroll here. I wanted to say something about Bankroll. I'm about to pass whale status. Probably happen in just a few hours. I'll be in a whale status, which, I don't know, it's kind of funny. So I don't think it changes anything. The contract flows down the same amount, so all the whales and everybody are still getting. I don't understand the whole whale status thing. If that was relevant, the drainage in the contract would have been. Tony Perkins wants to be a Fed chairman soon. Fuck, who knows? He may end up being one. This is some fun shit, motherfuckers. Thank you for watching my fucking garbage. Click like and subscribe. Or downvote me. Participate. That's what it's all about. I'm completely transparent, completely immutable. Well, that's not true. Somebody could beat the shit out of me and knock my jaw off my mouth so I couldn't talk. So I'm not completely immutable, but so far I'm pretty immutable. I get to say whatever the fuck I want. Brought that stupid red crap criminal back online. The one video I took down. I've got nobody blocking from my channel. You are welcome to comment, like, subscribe, hate, say whatever you want. I don't care. I want to hear it. I definitely want to hear it. So yeah, looking at other scammy projects, one of the things that kind of got my eyes is Cloud Token. Cloud Token is it's a scam like anything else, but it's very interesting. It's like a plus token. You put your tokens in there and you earn interest off of a bot that they are much more transparent about their bot. You put 500 in and you gain anywhere, like I think it's 10 or 20% a month, 10 to 12, 6 to 12% a month. I think it was 6 to 12% a month. You got to put $500 in their AI bot, and you can use any currency. They're going to set it up too so that when your coins are in their wallet, you own the private keys. So that's really interesting. And then another thing that's really got my tickled my gourd is this decentralized exchange that Binance is coming up with. Well, they're going to have a coin in there that's going to compete with the decentralized exchange, where that coin will allow you to trade currency between one currency and another, like GoEX. The initial thing that made GoEX popular was an exchange where you didn't have to log in or do anything. You just put your currency in there and you get an exchange for another currency instantly, right there. And that's what this new, what do we call it? It's Now. This Now token on Binance is going to be really interesting to see. It's going from the ERC20 token to its own blockchain, I believe, is what's happening. I'm not clear on this Now token. I've looked up some of the research because I was so compelled by it, considering how big Binance is. And the fact that they're doing something to compete with themselves sounds really interesting. Yeah. But none of this shit's anywhere near as interesting as the whole big fucking generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme that we live in. And those that manipulate it in order for their own benefit while they're telling us they're doing something good for us. That whole scam, that's really compelling. And I think that is why crypto went up at the beginning of this month, why it's going down, all in kind. I mean, the whole entire market goes up and down in kind. It's really incredible. You know, I know people that do what I do, selling photography, and we all do not go up at the same time when it comes to sales. I know many industries that compete for market share, and they don't go up at the same time. So don't fucking listen to these asshole technical analysts that constantly try to feed you garbage insofar as like what you can expect. Expect one thing, a very small group of people to come into crypto and determine how the large user base of that community is going to be affected. It's a very, very small group of people in crypto that are affecting the whole entirety of the space, and it's made evidently clear by how the entire crypto market goes up and down in kind. There's nothing free market about crypto. Don't fucking fool yourselves. And keep buying these really crazy, scammy things, because I totally believe in them. I think that assholes like Tony Perkins and David Peterson and Manso and Justo, without motherfucking cunts like that, we're not going to find a better way. Because these people are feeding on your needs, and as long as we can express ourselves, and I can be the motherfucker that I am saying this voice, and other motherfuckers like me out like Crypto Saint, and even the guys that are on the other side, like Sonny and Daly, all fucking rooting and cheering for it, they all matter. They all matter because it's going to be sentiment, and sentiment's going to be the dictator as to what's in the best interest of all, particularly when we're considering all the data that we're analyzing in order to get to where we want to go. And I think it's equitable distribution of value and price and cost. We don't have that now. None whatsoever. I'll end it with this. Teachers everywhere in the world should be paid way more than any fucking celebrity or politician. That education that teachers give should be free. They should give it freely and be rewarded by those that they enlighten. And the system that we could have on behalf of that, oh man, this is what the world could be. Dream with me. Like and subscribe. Love you guys.